Is that to give you a little bit deeper view into somebody's skin?
Shalom. This is the priest Azan Ha Ahmath right back at you with another lesson. And I pray this lesson is edifying to the lambs of Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Hashem, Harakak Wadash, and double honors. To the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who do the will, and like-minded men who are believing and preaching in the names of Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Right now, you heard what Trump said about the digital implantations about to go under the skin, and it says 6G Trumpian slid. Donald admits that 6G bioconvergence will bring under the skin surveillance, right? And this is what the scriptures go into, right? The end days and the end prophecies speak about a time where everybody's going to have to comply or die, or tap into the faith being chosen, okay, by the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shai. So if you sincere brothers and sisters have been paying attention, right, you just caught what he said. And this is pertinent information. Use your spiritual eye, your spiritual ears to understand and measure the times, because this is pertinent information pertaining to the end times that we're heading into rapidly. Okay? 6G now. And as he said, 7G is on the way. And while the inhabitants of Babylon the Great are intoxicated by the false flags and psyops by your government and the left-handed priesthood, which consists of witches and warlocks, what are they doing? They're boasting, okay, in their technology. And these are the times where, okay, technocracy has usurped your rights and your freedoms. This is what John the Revelator saw. These times building up where the wicked will come down with that great wrath. And they're using it with what? With technology, a technocracy. Trump literally said the ability to see under the skin. You see? So the 6G is the membrane of this operation that they're setting up, right? And they're going to present it in a way of peace, right? You have health issues, but we have surveillance under the skin that can detect, okay, an issue in your body, right? Pre-crime, don't you want to feel safe, right? And this is why we getting all these so-called illegals out of the country. Now that they're out of the country, okay, with ICE deporting them, now we can set up the pre-crime, right? Just like the COGS. How are you going to do that? Surveillance. Watching at all times, right? Because what they have in China, they want that here in America. That same credit system, where if you go off in the eyes of the government, you're hindered. That's coming here. This is the digital Tower of Babel. Because as the book of Ecclesiastes says, as it was then is now. Just as the Israelites was chased out of Egypt by the Pharaoh, he's going to do the same thing in these times. He's going to come after us because we're going to be the ones that deny this. And it's going to come by that digital grid.
We're talking about wearable implants, things like smart tattoos, nanotech, which will connect to networks for health tracking, which is why they've been sabotaging the health system, the healthcare system as we know it. They're doing it by design. They're making you trust less in the healthcare system. They're raising all these prices so that it makes it impossible for you to actually get healthcare. They're doing things like the United Healthcare. They want to dismantle the system, just like you're seeing them dismantle our current government infrastructure. They're dismantling all systems to run through AI governance, which includes health tracking, okay? One of the other things that's out there that we've seen are all these stories about shooters. And, how did this guy get a gun inside of a building? How did this kid get a gun inside of the school. Well, with 6G terahertz, they're going to be able to penetrate clothes, they're going to be able to detect weapons or drugs from afar. And that's how.
Right. They're going to be able to see through walls. They already have that technology where they can infrared and blue beam, and now you have AI being implemented. So knowledge is increasing, right? Even this right here is this is for safety, intelligence, okay? Sensors, right? This is going into implants. You see the implant right here. It's starting with a smartwatch, but it's going to end with that digital implant, that Motb, right? So they're presenting this in a way of peace. Okay? When you go to the book of Daniel, the 8th chapter, all right, it says, verse 25, and this is dealing with Antiochus Epiphanes. But the biblical Edomite operates under the same law, right? He magnifies himself by wickedness. This is Daniel 8:25, and through his policy. Also, he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart. What is his heart? That's his mind, right? And by peace shall destroy many. He also shall stand up against the prince of princes, but shall be broken without hand, right? So he's going to destroy many by what? By peace, by his devices. You see? By the promises, by these promises. All right? And the people are going to buy this. This is going into biotechnology, tapping into your body. Okay? Next gen 6G wireless tech might use human bodies for energy. So what you see in those, futuristic movies, they're bringing that to life. You know, when we hear from Klaus Schwab and these technocrats, this is what they had in store. This is what the elite bankers are using Trump to push. He's just a puppet.
Use 6G and monitor what's underneath your skin. So this is not healthy from so many different aspects. We can look at it from the surveillance state aspect, but we should really look at it from a health aspect, because the type of frequencies we're talking about here are deadly. 5G, we all know how bad it's been. We know how many people have been suffering from, if you're near those towers, migraines, dizziness, cloudy thinking, right? Foggy thinking, tumors, cancer, all these other things that 5G causes, how it weakens and kills off the immune system. Well, 6G terahertz, all the testing that they've done on mice and things like that, okay, have literally caused DNA changes. So we're talking about changing you, right? We've heard Claus, we've heard all these guys talking about changing me. What they want to do is change who you are, what you are. And then you start thinking about them being able to see, once some of these devices are on your body, like wearables, or in your body,
You hear that? In your body. So however you want to flip it, or however you want to, the end goal for the wicked is to put this technology in your body and them to control you. And they're going to use universal basic income. They're going to use, digital platforms. They're going to use governance, penalties. And this is why the elect are going to be deceived. We live like pilgrims. We're prepared for this. All right? And this is how you know the wicked are the wicked. No other people is trying to push this but Esau, Edom. Listen to this devil. He wants to merge you with machine, right?
How 6G is literally going to be inside of you, that the next wave of phones will be underneath your skin, that you yourself will become the phone, how this type of technology will enable them to see through walls and monitor us 24/7 in these smart cities on this surveillance grid.
I wanted to ask when you all think we're going to move from this form factor to something that's on your face, glasses, and when computing's all on the edge.
All right, 50 seconds. Who wants to answer quickly? I think it will go. It will. First of all, it will definitely happen. I was talking about 6G. earlier, which is around 2030. I would say that by then, definitely the smartphone as we know it today will not anymore be the usual kind of the most common interface. Wow. Many of these things will be built directly into our bodies.
Time out. Built directly into your bodies. Okay, and we ain't just talking nanotech. No, they have digital implants. And you already know about DARPA, Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency. This is going to be the Project Blue Beams, right? They got the police dogs and the robots working with, okay, Elon. It's all centered, okay? All tied up to the chip. They want you to be that walking hotspot, a programmable device that they can control. Remember Aaron Russo's interview?
I used to say to him, what's the point of all this? You have all the money in the world you need. You have all the power you need. What's the point? What's the end goal? And he said the end goal is to get everybody chipped, to control the whole society, to have the bankers, the elite people, the bankers and some governor controlling the world.
Right? Who was that, Rockefeller? Where they said they could turn the chip on and off at any time. See, this is the wicked, and we're not deceived. Okay? The scriptures say the man of lawlessness. Right? So, 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3, let no man deceive you by any means, except for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that the man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. This man just said, all right, this technology is going to be in you. Let's check this out, right? Because there's things that they're saying here is pertinent to Revelations, the 13th chapter. See, we come into that end times where you can't dance around this and play no more.
Government's Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency to develop what they call next generation non-surgical neurotechnology designed to allow the human brain to directly interface with machines.
Know that DARPA is exploring human-machine interfaces that include direct connections between the brain and outside systems.
We could have a sensor maybe on the surface of our head, or maybe implanted somewhere in our body, in our brain, or something that allows us to interact directly with our communications gear, our processing gear.
What are you looking at right there? It said the man of sin shall be revealed. And how is he being revealed? By his technology, by his digital enterprise. Okay? Merging man with machine. Revelation 13. Okay? The beast from the earth. All right? Dealing with that system. Revelation 13 and 14. And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles, which he had power to do in the sight of the beast. See, this is a miracle to some people. The ability to, all right, to move your body by thoughts. The ability just to look at something and, it draws to you. Change the channel by just thinking about it. This is a miracle on the left-handed side. Right? And people are going to wander after the beast. You see that? That they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by the sword and did live. Well, had that wound by the sword because America is that, pagan Roman Empire revived again. You see? Again, this is the digital Tower of Babel being brought back to life. A digital renaissance. Okay? And he had the power to give life into the image of the beast. In the image of the beast will both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. You see that? So if you don't get down with this and you don't know the Heavenly Father, He didn't choose you from the foundation. It's going to be a tough day.
Weapon systems, and so on. You put this sensor on, and you think the right way, and you can increase the speed of the fan by thinking and controlling that thought with direct-to-mind or mind-machine interfacing.
But there are those who believe that this same technology could also be used by DARPA as a new form of mind control. Like their counterparts at the CIA, DARPA-funded researchers have spent decades investigating how the human mind...
If you brothers know about MK Ultra and the CIA, they've been doing this to soldiers in the military to go on operations for them, to, go kill somebody. This is what this is the wicked. The scriptures say their heart is deep. This man has to be stopped. And he has to be stopped by Yahweh Shai.
Can you imagine that in 10 years when we are sitting here, we have an implant in our brains, and I can immediately feel, because you all will have implants.
What are you doing? This is Bethany. Can you hear me? Well, you're right in front of me. But can you hear me down the phone? Oh my gosh. This is me. On the phone, I had it implanted. My hand is the phone. I can walk and talk because I'm on the phone. The phone inside my hand. I am the phone. This is what phones are going to be from now on. I have integrated. Thank you for your call.
See, they're going to want the chip. You see her face? She's integrated. And this is how they're going to sell you. They're going to come with that peace. They're going to come by these miracles and show you this is how to live. This is the new way to be. You got BlackRock right now buying all the homes and then putting them back on the market 2 times, 3 times higher where people can't afford them. And now it's come to the total ownership of your body. Digitally. Biological blockchain technology is about to be introduced. So get used to people excited about it until that grievous sore come upon them.
Subdermal implants. They charge themselves with motion like a self-winding watch. I get signal across 95% of UK mainland, 98 by next year. It was ringing. You were ringing. That's the speaker. So small. On the phone, I had it implanted. My hand is the phone. I am
implanted. Right? You see, these are the miracles. Revelation 19 and 20. And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet, and wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that have received the mark of the beast, and them that worship his image. These both were cast alive in the lake of fire, burning with brimstone. Right? And that's the judgment for putting that device in you. When World War III, when the Lord comes back with the chariots, that lake of fire is going to be created. And these people aren't going to be saved. They weren't chosen. They were chosen to die here. Okay? Now, Elder Yashawamba went into this, I think earlier a day ago. Right? Listen to what Grok is saying about this 6G.
Official, White House statement. Okay, they're winning the 6G race. I'm going to read a little bit of this. Again, by the authority vested in me as president, by the Constitution and laws of the United States of America, I hereby direct the next generation of mobile communication networks. 6G will be foundational to the national security, peace, and safety, as we're going to show some of the perks that come with 6G. It says foreign policy and economic prosperity of the United States. This technology will play a pivotal role in the development and additional emerging of technologies like artificial intelligence, robotics, and implantable technologies. Okay? And implantable technologies. So what we see the leaders on the earth doing, let's get it. All right, Psalms chapter 2 and 1. Why do the heathen rage and your people imagine a vain thing? All right, is not this that? The kings of the earth set themselves and the rulers take counsel together. Is that not what we're witnessing? Okay, and this is just something that they're putting on camera. Behind closed doors and off camera is way deeper than what you just saw on camera. They're not going to allow into the news the reality of what they're trying to do. They're going to, patent it and soften it and present it in a way that's, people really think that this is, some new wave that's going to help life.
Right. So as he said in Psalms 2 and 1, and subscribe to the Elder Yashawamba's page, Remnant Save 144, constantly puts out, daily edification. All right, these news and prophecies are very edifying, to the body and to those believers, okay? But it says Psalms 2 and 1, as he read, why do the heathen rage? Why do the people imagine a vain thing? All right, and as we read in 2nd Ezra, the 3rd chapter, thou shalt find that Israel by name have kept thy precepts, but not the heathen. This is why he's raging. This is why he's coming with that digital, surveillance. The Lord's creations don't need to be altered.
Becoming obsolete, and brain-computer interfaces, and these psychopaths like Yuval Harari and Klaus Schwab telling you for years and years and years that the plan has always been to be under your skin.
COVID is critical because this is what convinces people to accept, to legitimize total biometric surveillance. If we want to stop this epidemic, we need not just to monitor people, we need to monitor what's happening under their skin, their body temperature. Like we walked in here, we had to go through a body temperature test. No, I think maybe in a couple of decades when people look back, the thing they will remember from the COVID crisis is this is the moment when everything went digital. And if this was the moment.
And he's a small hat, right? Sodomite Mo. Okay. Set up by the left hand to bring these technologies. Right? All these people are Satanists, anti-messiahs. Okay? They want to be your power. They want to be God. We can go back to 2 Thessalonians, all right, dealing with the man of lawlessness. Because when I stopped, all right, at verse 3, it said the man of sin will be revealed, the son of perdition. Hey, is he on the Lord's side? Or is he against the Lord? It says, verse 4, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he, as God, sit in the temple of Yahweh Shema Shai, showing himself that he and his technology, his digital implant, right, all these things, Palantir, to spy and watch, tapped into the Pentagon, tapped into the government. This is going to be that digital grid. That's why the Bible identifies him as the man of lawlessness, the man of sin. Listen to what these people plan to do. And look where we're at right now, where Trump said, okay, hey, 6G, are we going to be able to see under your skin? You just act like you didn't hear that.
When everything became monitored, that we agreed to be surveyed all the time, not just in authoritarian regimes, but even in democracies. And maybe most importantly at all, this was the moment when surveillance started going under the skin. The biometric sensor. It's the thing, it's the gadget, it's the technology that converts biological data into digital data that can be analyzed by computers. And having the ability to really monitor people under the skin, this is the biggest game changer of all. With this kind of surveillance, I mean, you watch the big president, the big leader, gives a speech on television. The television could be monitoring you and knowing whether you're angry or not, just by analyzing the cues, the biological cues coming from your body. So now people are now watching us online, all over the world, this conversation. Now, maybe even right now, the people who are watching us are being watched and analyzed. And the thing is, it's not just you're now watching this. The thing is, we know that you're watching this, and we also know how you feel.
You heard that? They know you're watching, and they want to know how you feel. That's what we just read. That he's showing himself that he is God. Right? Verse 7. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. All right? And when you deal with the wicked, the man of sin, the Lord said he's going to consume him. So they're not going to be able to get this off. Right? 2 Thessalonians 2:8. And then shall the wicked be revealed, who the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Even him whose coming is after working of Satan with all power, signs, and lying wonders. Right? Let's go into that. Okay, who's this he that's coming after workings of Satan? Right? And what does he plan to do? Lying wonders. Right? By what? By deception.
Strong's G 4567, Satanas. Satanas.
And this is what these people.
Thayer's lexicon, Satan. Satan.
Satan. Right? And this is this is their God. Okay? The adversary. Okay? The adversary. One who opposes another in purpose or act. Right? That's what we read in Thessalonians. Who opposes and exalts himself as he is, okay, as God. The prince of evil spirits. Right? The worshipers of idols are said to be under his control. That's heavy. Because if you take his device, okay, you deal with these people on this level and you're deceived, right? What's going to happen, man? Right? Hey, you're going to be under this man's control. By his demons, he is able to take possession of men and inflict them with diseases. Hey, that's that grievous sore. So there's no winning dealing with Esau, Edom, and his devices. You're going to lose out. And they bringing this. It's here. Play a little bit more that we can close out.
Now, in the past, many tyrants and governments wanted to do it, but nobody understood biology well enough. And nobody had enough computing power and data to hack millions of people. Neither the Gestapo nor the KGB could do it. But soon, at least some corporations and governments will be able to systematically hack all the people. We humans should get used to the idea that we are no longer mysterious souls. We are now hackable animals. Data might enable human elites to do something even more radical, than just build digital dictatorships. By hacking organisms, elites may gain the power to re-engineer the future of life itself. Because once you can hack something, you can usually also engineer it. And if indeed we succeed in hacking and engineering life, this will be not just the greatest revolution in the history of humanity. This will be the greatest revolution in biology since the very beginning of life 4 billion years ago. For 4 billion years, nothing fundamental changed in the basic rules of the game of life. All of life, for 4 billion years, dinosaurs, amoebas, tomatoes, humans, all of life was subject to the laws of natural selection and to the laws of organic biochemistry. But this is now about to change. Science is replacing evolution by natural selection with evolution by intelligent design. Not the intelligent design of some god above the clouds, but our intelligent design and the intelligent design of our clouds.
All right. Right? He said not the intelligent design of a God in the clouds, but our science is going to be the new God from this transhumanist. So basically, he's saying that they can do better than the Creator. He wants to hack, upgrade you by bioengineering transhumanism. Okay? But he has to be stopped. Okay? 2 Thessalonians 2 and 4. Read it one more time before we close. Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that's called God. All right? And that's the 12 tribes of Israel. We have the Lord's name written in us, or that is worshipped. And see, when you read the book of Revelations, he's going to come after the Lord's woman, the dragon, right? That's what this is going into. He's going to come after us because we ain't going to be down with this. He's bringing all this technological bullshit, and the world is going to worship it. They're going to wander and do what they got to do to eat, save their children, live the next day. But they're going to be in torment, right? So that he, as God, to the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. And that's what we're hearing with this devil right here, man. All right? And this is why the Lord is going to come, all right, and put an end to this. And destruction is coming to the heathen, man. All right? 6G is here. The Motb is around the corner. The hour of temptation is near. You see what these devils is doing. They're trying to bring this technology, and they bringing it, okay, and put it under the skin. This is that Motb, all right, that the scriptures go into, that we've been preaching about and warning you about, that you better take heed. So I pray this lesson has been edifying. This is the priest Azan Ha Ahmath, Abba Babal. Shalom.